Hi, everyone. I'm Gary Null. Once again, we begin a journey of health and healing. All the information I'm sharing is not controversial, it's not political, it's not ideological, it's simply common sense and good science showing that we can live a longer and healthier life no matter the mistakes we've made up to this point. All the information comes from the National Library of Medicine. It's all peer-reviewed. And we begin with a study from Johns Hopkins University, published in Natural Society. It's about a simple vegetable that can flush environmental toxins from your body and do it rather quickly. Quote, a new clinical trial is showing that the tiny sprouts of broccoli can help neutralize air pollution and its toxic contaminants in your body. Quote, people suffer from air pollution every single day. Many may not realize this, that they're being exposed, but it ends up causing some medical problems. Air pollution causes cardiovascular deaths, asthma, pulmonary disease, and chronic respiratory conditions. That's just some of the elements. It also adds to less severe problems, but allergies, colds, and flu are part of that. Well, according to the latest research, something I've talked about many times, the cruciferous vegetables. Those are the most important vegetables you can eat. Those are the superstars. What am I talking about? Broccoli. And of course, broccoli sprouts are even more powerful than broccoli. Cauliflower. Dandelion greens, which rarely people eat. Maybe in the springtime, people think it's just a weed and throw it away. It's not. Very beneficial. It's a part of a family that are known as the bitters. Now, when I was in Sweden and Switzerland and the Scandinavian countries, they had that on a regular basis because they know it's good for digestion, they know it's good for your immune system, and indeed it is. We don't eat enough. We just don't like the taste of broccoli, I guess, but also Brussels sprouts and asparagus, kale, watercress, radishes. These are all good. These are all cruciferous. And they contain nutrients, including indole-3-carbinol, IC3, and also the isothiocyanates. These are natural chemicals, kind of sulfury. That's what gives them the smell. They're extremely good at preventing disease. I have at least 1 to 2 servings every single day of cruciferous vegetables because I want to prevent disease. Just like once a month, I get a vitamin C drip, 25,000 milligrams. Why? No disease, but I don't want to get disease. So I'm a big believer in preventing something. It's a lot easier, a lot less expensive than if you think, well, I don't really have to pay attention. I feel okay today. How do you know if your inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein or homocysteine or fibrinogen or triglycerides are elevated? If they are, you won't feel it, you won't know it. You could end up with a heart attack or stroke. How do you know that your arteries are clean and clear so your blood flows smoothly through them, lowering your chance of a stroke or heart attack? Well, you don't. So why not try prevention? And your cruciferous vegetables are the best prevention. So in this case, here's what they're saying. In a 12-week randomized placebo-controlled study, a group of adults, all exposed to high levels of air pollution, found that broccoli sprouts were extremely effective. Half the participants were asked to consume approximately a half a cup of broccoli sprouts or a drink every day. The control group drank pineapple and lime juice. The results were phenomenal. The broccoli sprout drink increased the rate of excretion of benzene by 61%. In effect, participants who drank broccoli sprout juice could effectively reverse some of the damage from sucking down all the tailpipe full of carcinogenic fumes from all the vehicles. And that's just that. Think of all the people living in northern climates thought it was a good idea to buy themselves a wood-burning stove. Well, if you got lots of cords of wood, fine, but you're breathing in creosote. I know that because I had a farm upstate, and we had a beautiful stove and filled with wood, kept the place rather warm, but there was always a smell. And then you look up at the ceiling and you see the stain. Well, that stain's going into your lungs. So for those of you who use wood-burning stoves, maybe you have no other choice, get yourself an air filter and make sure you're having broccoli sprout juice every day. Another study, this is on yoga and meditation. It can help train your brain. Who says? Science Daily, University of Minnesota study. The biomedical engineers at the University of Minnesota show that people who practice yoga and meditation over a period of time can learn to control a computer with their brains faster and better than people with little or no yoga or meditation. The research could have a major impact for the treatments of people who are paralyzed or have neurodegenerative diseases. So, yoga and meditation, better thinking, better executive skills, etc. Another study from Rutgers University, as well as the University of Rochester, found that there is a hormone-disrupting chemical that can enter your body during pregnancy. This was published in the Journal of Exposure, Science, and Environmental Epidemiology. It found that nearly all pregnant women ingest the fungal toxin Zen, Z-E-N, which mimics estrogen in the body and hinders reproduction in some animals. What they found, it was 97% of the urine samples of pregnant women and 84% of placentas. Now, what is it? Zen is a type of microestrogen and an estrogen-like compound produced by certain molds that contaminate grains and meats and processed foods in particular. So if you're eating corn and wheat and barley, you're eating meat and sandwiches and salami and pizzas, you're going to get this in your system. You don't want it in your system because it binds with estrogen receptors and it can cause all kinds of problems. It's very common in animals. So just make sure you're on a cleaner diet and that your pets are on a clean diet. Someone once asked me, in fact, an inspector comes around, looks at the animals, actually brings people to show them how they should be kept until they can be given a home for life. Now, by the way, these are very common in a lot of animals, but also in humans as well. What is the problem? The problem is that we do not pay attention to all the molds in our homes. I have a carpet here behind me, as you can see in my study. This is my work study. This is my broadcast studio. And I make sure that my carpet is cleaned, and I clean it also with some hydrogen peroxide, not just water. And so as a result, it really cleans it well. But then I use a particular type of mold remover, removes all the mold in a room. And you use it 3 times for about 30 minutes. You can't be in the room at the same time. They're not expensive, like $60-$70, but boy, does it work. And it sanitizes all molds in a room. In any case, because if you're not aware of it, when you have carpet, you have all kinds of bugs and bacteria and molds growing in there. Then you breathe those in. And then you can think you're okay, but you could have allergies and impact your lungs and your nasal cavities. So just go to cleaning up your environment, detoxify your environment. Also, try to have as much clean, fresh, living food as possible. The more processed your food, the more likely you are to be getting denatured food that causes inflammation that leads to disease. So when I have a big salad, and as I mentioned earlier, I'll put maybe 5 different cruciferous vegetables, and I don't eat them raw. They're not digested raw. I steam them. Then I can saute them, whatever I want to do, and then I put them in either a brown rice dish or I can put them in a salad. But make sure you're getting it. The more clean food, the more clean juices and water, the healthier you're going to be, the longer you're going to live. It's that simple. Now, finally, from the University of Gothenburg, which is in Sweden, published in News Medical, young people with ADD and ADHD benefit from tactile massage. A tactile massage can relieve hyperactivity, impulsivity, and attention deficit HDA. Quote, this is the result of a small-scale study conducted by the University of Gothenburg. Young people also found that the massage made it easier to fall asleep. So that's good. And so if you have a child that has ADHD, get them to a Swedish massage, a shiatsu massage, because if you did it once a week for 10 weeks, that tactile massage, which is a soft, pronounced massage, it's given with slow and predetermined movements. It can help the hyperactivity, impulsivity, and attention deficit disorder just calm down, reduces irritation and defiant tendencies. How about that? That was a study, and it worked. That's the latest on health and healing. We're going to take a break and come right back. And by the way, you can always see if you miss this, because I'm video streaming it. I don't video stream my whole show unless it's a classroom on the air or our progressive commentary hour. And by the way, if you didn't hear and watch this week's progressive commentary hour, download it. It is powerful. I'm getting phenomenal input from people saying this really helps us understand what to do if we've been vaccinated and we're concerned and want to undo the harmful effects. So that's important. But also you can watch this on Gary and All YouTube, where we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these up there. All right? Back in a moment. Please stay with us.